I thought he actually died there, and part of me is disappointed he didn't.
I honestly,
not that
yeah,
I don't like him,
because I saw someone.
I was like, "Ooh, that's."
I saw
cool.
someone tweet something about like, "Oh my god, where'd Hunter go?" And I was like, "Oh, is the episode going to end?" And like, we don't know where he is. That's awesome, but no, he ended up showing back up.
He left at the end.
Well, yeah, he did kind of disappear. I hope so. I hope he's fine. I want something horrible. I don't want any more horrible stuff to happen to Hunter at this point.
He's going to run to
I bet
Willow's
Hunter
house.
went to that cafe where Ida had to dress as a bee in the body swap episode, and we're gonna find Hunter in like a B1C. It's like, this is my life now. The Emperor doesn't want me, so I'm just gonna work at this cafe.
Yeah, they'll do that if they need to fill in an episode, I guess. All right.
So, Crown,
The episode.
you really wanted to say something, so what was it?
I forgot. Give me.
Wow.
What? Wait. Okay, it wasn't important. It was just that. Before we started recording, we were joking about how, like, we already knew that Philip was the Emperor the whole time. So I was expecting this episode to go in the direction where, like, it was gonna switch that up, and they were actually inside the mind of the brother character that we don't fully know about. Like, I thought it was gonna reveal that Bellos was not Philip, but no, it just goes the straightforward direction.
No.
That would have been so cool. Oh my god, if Hunter just assumed that they were in the Emperor's mind, but that everyone knew about his brother, that would have been awesome. But
after the ending of that time travel episode, there was no doubt, pretty much.
I don't know.
It's
They
fine.
still
It's
could
not terrible. It's
yeah,
just like,
they still could have pulled the rug from us. I think it's totally fine, especially because of how cool they presented it here. But like, that just would have been a nice little twist, because we kind of knew a fair amount of like the sort of reveals here. We were already a little bit aware of, at least the Emperor's identity and Hunter's origin. Like, were things that we basically knew because of very clear foreshadowing previously.
but we didn't know that King is taking Spanish lessons, and that's
We didn't know that. Yes,
so
that's
cute.
important. Yes.
The subtitles just said speaking Spanish, like
Yes.
when he was
There was
poorly
there was
speaking
on-screen
Spanish.
subtitles of what he was trying to say, but then the closed captioning subtitles just said speaking Spanish.
Also, we know that Darius and why do I always forget the little guy's name? What's his name?
I don't know.
Wasn't it like Eber something?
I don't know.
I don't remember any of the characters' names. There's a wiki for a reason.
Yeah.
Darius and Tiny
Little Mac.
Tiny Cat Man, and I don't really know who the third person with glasses was. I guess
Rain?
maybe. Yeah, that was Rain, right?
Who is that third person with glasses? I've never seen him before.
Yeah.
It's only the character we've spent the past season focusing on.
I truly thought, like, they don't have glasses. That's not them.
Is it,
like,
is it
wait,
still
yes, they
supposed
do.
to be? Is it still supposed to be like a secret that that's Rain and stuff? Because it obviously isn't a secret.
No, but the other two involved is new, right?
Yeah, well, we didn't know
Imagine-
that they were involved. This confirms that they're involved.
We thought we thought Darius was maybe involved when we saw the tiny abomination
Yeah.
last week, so that confirms it.
I think a lot of these mysteries are for like the youngest audience. There's no Adventure Time level. Adventure
Or
Time
for the
level
Chans.
Illuminati. There's no Adventure Time level Illuminati. There's
What?
only Chan. No, no. There's no.
There's only Chan and 5-year-old.
Yeah, there's only
That's it.
Chan and 5-year-old.
Like,
level.
who's that person with the glasses, though? I can't figure that out.
I'm with you, Chan. I have a goldfish memory. I think that's been proven
There you go.
based on how many times I forgot stuff about the show on this podcast.
I
Right.
love the Palisman Beast design was like one of my favorites.
This whole
in the show.
this whole
So
episode was
cool.
definitely like they just played like Little Nightmares or something. Like, it felt very horror gamey, like the whole scenario. All the music and stuff, the little kid like creepy giggling and stuff. Like, they definitely looked into some horror games or horror movies and stuff to get this one out.
Yeah. Also, Bellos like blew up a town. That's crazy.
And people sort of died
Yeah.
on screen too. That's also great.
Yeah, that was like terrifying. That was even worse than dying. They're like seizing on the ground, and then not Hunter was like, they're still alive, and he's like, okay, we have work to do. Like, oh my god.
Like, what work? What are you going to do to them?
Also,
And,
those
like,
other Grimwalkers, had Hunter's, exact voice, which, it makes sense, of course, but it just makes me think, is Hunter really the youngest guard, or were they all young? Were they all the exact same age?
He probably told all of them that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because...
He probably told all of them
Well, I
that.
think the scenario is that, they probably come into existence as babies or as, younger kids and then grow up, but he always has to kill them because at a point they learn his true goals and he kills them off and makes another one instead.
They're probably all called Hunter as well, I'd imagine.
I thought he actually died there, and part of me is disappointed he didn't.
I honestly,
not that I
yeah,
don't like him,
because
but
I saw
like,
someone.
I was like, ooh, that's.
I saw
cool.
someone tweet something about oh my god, where'd Hunter go? And I was like, oh, is the episode going to end and we don't know where he is? That's awesome, but no, he ended up showing back up.
In a way, we don't know
They
where
probably
he's
were
going.
talking about that. Yeah, he left at the end.
Well, yeah, he did kind of disappear.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that Darius was still somewhere in the background and is going to go and collect him or something. I hope so. I hope he's fine. I want something horrible. I don't want any more horrible stuff to happen to Hunter at this point. Come on.
I think
bet-
they must.
I bet
Those
Hunter
guys were just hanging out outside the owl house. There's no way they're not going to intercept him.
No, he's going to run to
I bet
Willow's
Hunter
house.
went to that Hunter went to the cafe where Ida had to dress as a bee in the body swap episode, and we're gonna find Hunter in a B1C. It's like, this is my life now. The Emperor doesn't want me, so I'm just gonna work at this cafe.
They'll do that if they need to fill in an episode, I guess.
My only issue with Hunter not dying when it seems like he did is that we don't know what happened to him then, right?
He had glyphs.
He
I
just
thought
vanished
for a
into a
moment that he
hole,
did
and then
die.
later he just wasn't in a hole anymore.
He had glyphs when he came back, so there's some sort of implication that he glyphed himself free, I guess.
Hunter's been starting to use glyphs then, has he? Has he been, or did he take one of Luz's glyphs? But I thought
Either
for a
one.
moment, that he'd been absorbed by Belos, but that he'd somehow come out of Belos and was attacking him from within his own mind, he'd become more powerful or something by getting consumed. So, I thought he was dead.
Yeah, because
moment.
earlier in the episode they were like, if you die in the mindscape, you die in real life. And so how else were we supposed to take him getting sucked up into a Belos hole?
Okay, but I'm glad he isn't dead, because if Hunter died and then he just came up with a new Hunter, a new clone, that would have been a bit too much, I think. A bit too.
It's like Hunter
devastating.
finally learns the truth, and then we get a new Hunter that doesn't know the truth. Oh, okay.
What, She-Ra did it? Let's have Hunter
Guys-
Prime show up.
Wait, yeah, but but at least Hordak didn't fucking
I
die
guess.
permanently,
Yeah.
Though actually, when he did get mind wiped, the crew were insisting that he's definitely mind wiped and definitely gone for good. So I'm glad that Hordak was fine, and I'm glad that Hunter is not dead, because that would have been too much for me.
Guys, I have an opinion that I don't know if it's controversial or not,
Dun, dun,
but
dun.
here we go. I did not like the Collector's voice.
Really?
At all.
Oh.
I don't know why.
I
thought I was just I was underwhelmed. I don't know. I don't know if it was the performance or just the voice, but I was like,
feel like
I don't know.
I
This
might
is
know who that voice was if I looked into it. But I don't know. I think their presentation is super cool for sure.
Oh, I
I
love
think
that.
it's just-
but I thought the voice didn't match the.
Yeah, maybe.
Really?
Maybe
I mean,
we
you
just
didn't
need to
think
see
they
more.
seemed childlike, and based on you say you like their presentation in this episode, but in that case, what voice would better fit that performance then?
I ain't a voice cast director. I've done my job. I've given my opinion. Just kidding. But
I just don't get what you're seeing or not seeing.
I mean, neither do I. Other than the fact that I heard the voice and I was like, oh, I don't really like that. I don't know. Maybe I wanted more effects on it or something. Maybe it was too raw. I'm not really sure, but.
Well, I think for
that's
me, not that it's a bad thing, but the Collector, they showed up and I was like, oh, okay. they're this show's Tumblr bait Bill Cipher quirky.
I thought about that right away.
They're the devil characters.
They've got a child's voice. They've got a child's voice, and they're nothing but evil. They're not a.
Well, yeah, I know that's a very.
Roxy could be
I
a
don't.
fun villain.
I'm not. I'm not. I don't mean in that way. I mean in the just like they're the mystical, like actually mastermind character of the show, not like the fandom reaction way.
Also, they're a grown woman.
I
using
like
a
that.
child's-
I like that he's just been just about out of view for the entire show. Like, we'll probably be able to go back and go, oh, look, the Collector is hinted to have been in this scene or something like that. Though I don't know exactly what the Collector is. But yeah, he is kind of the Bill Cipher in the sense that Bill Cipher was always a background presence throughout season 2, was it? I don't know. Bill's influence was always there, but he only came out of the shadows like in the final hour. And that's what this kind of feels like, especially when Hunter enters and leaves the room, and you see that the Collector was there the entire time, and you're like, Jesus, Hunter has known the Emperor his entire life and all of his lifetimes, and yet he has never known about the Collector.
Mm-hmm.
That's how well hidden the secret it was.
Yeah,
It's like midnight.
I just want to know what the heck their deal is.
Something about the way Hunter was responding to Luce like triggered something inside me, like a primal rage. When Luce was like, "Can't you see that he's evil now?" And then Hunter was like, "He's just trying to get them to like trying to use like tactics to spread his message." And I was just like, I must have known someone like this before. Something in me was like, punch the screen.
Now, I this is something I think we all know already, or we've seen it probably like a little while back. In Dana Terrace's gay live stream, she drew, someone asked her to draw, like, or donated or whatever, asked to draw, like, half of a character's face from the upcoming season.
Yeah.
And she drew a character that, is like half blue and half yellow and very obviously seems like it's going to be the Collector based on all we knew about them before, which was, like, in the Owl Beast's dream, the tall cloaked figure. But now, the Collector has shown up twice, kind of, in a very, like, a ghost sort of shadow on the wall form. Why doesn't he have a body?
I mean, maybe that comes later. I don't know.
We don't know. It's it'll be Prismo lore. They'll find the
So-
body
Prismo.
and kill it.
Well, he was saying something about being trapped in the Emperor's bones, wasn't he?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says he's trapped like in the Emperor's bones and
And the Titan's bones?
Like,
maybe?
no. Nick, is there any chance you can find the Croat?
So do they collect Palisman souls? Is that why they're the Collector?
Well, we don't know what.
It's like,
We don't. I think we don't have any idea about the Collector, but
Yeah.
it's
No, get this, because you had the Emperor eats the Palisman, right? He sniffs the Palisman like cocaine, and then the Palisman is trapped in his mind, and then he eats the Palisman again.
yeah, could be.
But that's the only reason I was like, oh, if the Collector's trapped in his bones, maybe it is like because he does the Palisman stuff. So it was interesting. I was like surprised. I don't know why, because it's like, oh, I guess that's obvious. But when he was just like, I'm a witch hunter, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
What, was that
okay.
like something we're supposed to
Yeah,
know
I don't. I
specifically
feel like
about?
no. Like I feel like that's not a concept that was established. But also, it
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Is it trying to go to the implication too that he became a witch hunter because Luz and Lilith bothered him, or like was he always?
No. Like I get the feeling Witch Hunter. Did they mention that in the like episode in the human world, like with the town's history?
Maybe. I don't remember.
No, they did not, because if they'd mentioned that, then it would have been major. Philip Watanabe was mentioned as like the mayor or the son of a mayor, I think. I'm not sure.
I love how you said that.
Well, anyway,
It was incorrect, but it was great.
Well, anyway, they didn't mention that he was a witch hunter. He is from hundreds of years ago, so it's highly possible that he was a witch hunter in his previous human life. However, there's been no mention of how him being a witch hunter might relate to the fact that he's been using magic and he certainly hasn't made any note of it in his book. However, we know from his book that it's not the truth.
Yeah, he lies, for sure.
Yeah, he lies in his own book for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he just wants to make himself look more presentable, look more famous. I don't know. I don't know why he would lie in his own book that only he is using, but there you go.
Maybe he's a master manipulator. Maybe he assumes that someone will try to, like, get dirt on him, and then he's like, I'm gonna write fake information in this book that's just for me, so when they steal it, they're also deceived. You know?
Yeah, they're gonna put a light over the journal, like a UV light over the journal, and then you will see the real journal.
But the journal's been eaten by a rat. You gonna put a light over the rat?
It's weird. There's like, I feel like there's so much that happened, and I'm sitting here like, what happened?
I don't know. Yeah, like there was reveals, but in terms of the actual events, it's kind of just Mindscape episode, which was cool. How did they make a potion, I guess, that specifically puts you into the Emperor's mind even when he's, like, nowhere nearby?
Maybe it's like a DNA sample thing. It's like, the only reason that the others could do it was because they're, like, coven leaders, and they were like, let's go get his hair from his hairbrush that he uses in the morning.
Because I don't...
Maybe that's why Ida was failing.
I don't remember what they did to get into Willow's back in that episode.
She had to, like, go to sleep
I think...
or something? I don't know. Maybe that's wrong.
Yeah, it was just like Ida was like, I'm gonna cast a mind spell, I think.
Can I just point out something that caught my eye? Like during the part where they were talking for half an hour for some reason, and then I got really annoyed. Because there was a lot of padding in this episode, and I don't know why. It's like they only storyboarded 5 minutes of it, and we're like, okay, well, we've got to fill out the rest of the episode, so let's have a bunch of random bullshit happen.
Ruthless.
Until we can get to the actual good part of the episode of them going through Philip's memories. But one of the things I was staring at was the picture of Philip and his brother. And there was multiple of these pictures, and which one of them... I'm assuming that the blonde one is the brother.
Yeah.
And that the one with his face scratched out. No, wait. Which one had their face scratched out? Was it the blonde one or the little guy?
I'm trying to find one.
Yeah, I couldn't say without looking at them again.
Yeah, I don't know. I can agree that, like, some of the writing here was just very expositional. You know, very like Hunter being like, oh no, he's actually just like making it up. It's not true. Like, you're like, yeah, okay, we get it. We know where it's going.
Also, like, the first line of the episode, like, you tell me. You were the one who put us in the Emperor's
That
mind.
was bad, right? Like, why didn't they just start in the night market?
No. Okay,
from there?
I'm going to be the one with the different opinion there. I think starting the episode like that is really cool, and I think it weirdly gives me this vibe like if this was one of those like 45-minute special episodes, you know, like after a long hiatus or something, the show comes back and immediately they throw that at you, you'd be like, whoa, like we're doing that? Okay.
Yeah, but like. That's one thing, but like they do that at the start of the episode, right? They show you, oh, we're in the Emperor's mind, and you're like, yes, we're in the Emperor's mind. I want to see more immediately, right now. Show me more, and then it takes like another 15 minutes before they do anything with it, and I was so frustrated. I was like, why are we? What is the point of this first 15 minutes?
That's kind of true, but the thing that I was thinking was like, you know, Lucy's like, where are we? And then Hunter says, you know where we are. We're in the Emperor's mind. And then they, you know, did a, like, 5-minute flashback thing, which, again, why didn't they just start there and have it be the regular start episode?
Why would Lucy even know that? Why would Lucy even know that?
Yes,
what the hell?
Because the Emperor was nowhere nearby. It set me up for expectations that they were going to, like, see him and then go inside his mind, which didn't happen, so I was a little bit confused. And then also, because of the way the episode opened, where Luz was saying, what's happening? Like, I thought that their memories were going to be wiped or something. Like, I don't know. It was just confusing.
No, I didn't.
Did Hunter even know that they were trying to go in the Emperor's mind?
Oh my god! Crown! That
picture there's the picture. That's just Hunter.
That's actually Hunter. That's the first Hunter, and he's got long hair as well. So he was Philip's older brother. And now he's the little brother.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, good point. There's also like people with like size in the background, which
witch hunters.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because they're like they're very old. That's something we have to think about too. Is that like, cause did the journal like explain that he ended up like going to the Boiling Isles? Like, is that like where when we first opened the journal, was he like, oh, I find myself in this strange world or something like that, or like were they somehow already
Pretty
there?
sure he said
There must have been
that.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just staring at this picture. I'm like, whoa, this is
That is messed up though. Like Belos has been periodically cloning and killing his big brother, but as a child.
I mean,
He probably killed him in real life because he didn't do what he wanted, and he's like, I gotta make a better big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's better than that.
You know what's interesting? His inner self being like him as a kid, is that like the implication that was like the last time that he was himself or
Well,
something?
I think that's
like,
what you're
is that why
supposed
they
to
did
think,
that?
but then it was a ruse all along.
No, the inner self, it was the kid.
It's
Right?
possible that the
Oh, well,
kid.
yeah.
It's possible the kid did have the same voice, right? The kid had the same voice as the collector. So either the collector borrows Child Belos' voice, or Child Belos borrows the collector's voice.
Wait,
The
really? Was that exactly
implication-
the same, really?
I'm pretty sure it was the exact same voice, because when the child collector started speaking, I was like, oh wow, was the child actually not Belos at all the entire time? Because they had the same voice, I believe. And even if they're not the same, even if that's not supposed to be the same character voice, they'd probably use the same voice actor
Yeah, that's
since
fair.
they had a child on tap. But I'm thinking, like, Child Belos being evil means a lot, because what do you think that represents? Basically, that he's like following some kind of childish fantasy or childish vengeance.
Yeah,
Kid Bel-
maybe.
Kid-
Yeah, is this like
Tipsy is right. Kid Belos and Collector were the same voices in the credits.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is this like a revenge story? Like, did witch hunters like murder his older brother, and he's just like,
I'm gonna kill all the
or
witches.
witches?
'Cause the witch
Did
hunters.
witches? I meant sorry. Did
No,
witches
it's
murder his
possible.
older brother, and he's
It's
like, I'm
possible.
going to wipe them out now?
It's possible that he thinks that he's cool for a no. It's possible that because he was raised to be a witch hunter, that he thinks that would make him like doing God's work. Because if you remember, they implied that wild witches go to hell. He was
Yeah.
telling them
True,
that. Do you
true,
remember that?
true.
Belos is a 16th century
Oh,
religious
true.
flipping witch hunter, and he's telling the witches that they go to hell for using wild magic, and he plans to kill all of the witches, not just the wild magic users. He's getting the normal one, he's getting the Coven witches on his side, and then he plans to kill them using the same sigils that are branded on their wrists. So he's planning a witch genocide, basically. And he thinks that it will mean he's doing God's work, but deep down, it's an ego-fueled little boy
Does
fantasy
he think that?
of being the witch hunter. I think it's got something to do with it. That might be his excuse, doing God's work. That might be the way he justifies
I mean, the
it
way he
himself.
talked to Luz, he was just like, what did he say? Like, can't convince crazy or something. When she was like telling him that he was all messed up, he was
Yeah.
like very sure that he was right.
I mean, I just
So-
think, you know, when he was telling them their souls would go to hell, he was just lying. Like, I
Yeah, I mean,
get
it
where you're
could be
coming
either
from,
way.
because, you know, he came from the Salem witch trials era and stuff. Like, so it would make sense, but I just don't think we've seen that demonstrated.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know, maybe he thinks they're going to hell anyway. I mean, he wouldn't just say that and, like, you know, if he believes in God, he wouldn't just say that and not believe it. He'd think, yeah, all of these assholes are going to hell either way. I do think, like, there is a meaning behind the, I don't think he believes in his own hype. That's the debate. Does Belos actually believe in his own hype?
I mean,
or
of course not,
I
because he's
don't
trying
think
to
so.
kill everyone who he's indoctrinating.
Well, yeah, not just that, but also, like, does he believe that killing them is some kind of good thing as well? And I don't think he does. There's not enough evidence that he does. So he's just sort of like on a power trip, if anything.
What about when they didn't die and he said we have work to do? Doesn't that mean he wants them to die?
And he's full of hatred in general. Like,
Yeah. Well,
he's full of
I'm
hatred
trying to
and
focus
spite.
and think about this brother lore because like Chan was just like sort of saying like, is it just going to be a revenge story? And I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's a matter of like even the original brother turned on him, and then they had a Star Wars Episode 3 epic final battle, and the brother died, and then he just
Episode 3.
he just made a new one. Like I think that's kind of the implication because also in his journal that we saw in the time travel episode, there was like a little drawing of him and his brother. So his brother like didn't die at a young age or anything like that. They were in the Boiling Isles together, and I assume that original Hunter Prime like just realized like, wait, we're just killing these people. That's messed up. And then Philip's like, okay,
Yeah.
But the statue
screw
of
you.
them both that's in the human world is them both as adults. So presumably they were both adults in the Boiling Isles together, right?
yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
don't have a timeline of how they ended up. We don't have a timeline of why they even had a statue to begin with in the town. It might say something on the statue. I can't remember, of course. But, then they ended up in the Boiling Isles somehow. And
Oh my god, Luz is in a coma and she saw that statue and she
hell yeah, let's go.
Well, they were probably
Oh my
like
God.
considering they were witch hunters. They were probably of like a higher class in the town that they were in. They might have even been representatives of some kind. They might have been the mayor or the mayor's family. That's where I think they'd have a statue inside of Luz's town, because they're obviously historical figures of some kind. But that's exactly the kind of people that you'd get as witch hunters back then. The nobles. So
That picture just looks like they're about to be murdered. I keep looking at it. Like, why else would they have scythed, shadowed figures in the background? And also, like, it looks like they're like fake playing witch.
I
with,
know,
like,
that's I
wands
can
in their
totally
hand
see
there.
that too, but it just doesn't make sense because there's a statue of them.
Yeah.
So that's just kind
I
of
know,
that's
it's
kind of
just-
framed weird, or maybe there's something in the past that made.
Well, I mean, it could be not implying like, oh, they got murdered, but like that could be a point where they were like, haha, we're witches, and then they almost die
Yeah.
or something, or they really real. I don't know.
no, I do think that that's supposed to be like that's just supposed to be whoever is looking after them.
All four of those people.
Yeah. I mean, if they're part of some religious witch hunter group, then yeah.
I just feel like the way that picture is framed, it's supposed to be telling us like they're about to get attacked by these people. Like,
Well, I
I don't
mean,
know,
not
but maybe I'm
literally.
reading too much into
Maybe
it.
that's when they were innocent kids, and then they got like attacked. Well, not attacked isn't
Yeah.
the word you would use there, but they got lied to about how witches are all bad,
Yeah.
and they believed it.
Yeah, I guess they aren't like their stance is pretty neutral. It's just they're foreboding, so maybe it's
Right.
just like.
See, I
okay,
was
these
thinking
guys-
after the reveal of who the true Inner Bellos is, that the Kid Bellos that we saw wasn't ever Kid Bellos at all. Actually, it was regular Bellos, and he was just spying on them. He was like trying to get Hunter and Luz where he wanted them, so he could get them to kill the Talisman beast. Which could be true, but if that were the case, then I'm reconsidering now, because why would he like lead them through his private memories then?
Maybe he's too
Yeah, to
confident.
mess
He's
with
like,
them.
I'll murder them anyway, so I'll tell them my plan and then kill them.
Well, it's possible that like okay, because I mentioned Persona 5 earlier, right?
Yeah, during the episode.
Yeah, okay, so that wasn't like the real emperor, that was still the Inner Bellos. That wasn't like the real physical emperor or anything. That wasn't his actual
I don't know. I feel
At the end?
like it was very implied that it was him.
Yeah,
somehow.
it was though. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it was in his mind, but like he knows everything that happened there.
Okay, he knows everything that happened there, but it doesn't necessarily mean like he had control over everything that happened there.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like
maybe.
the hello loose, hello hunter part was like supposed to be like, hey, it's the real emperor now, everybody.
Okay, fair enough. But in Persona 5, like, you do get villainous caricatures of the people whose minds you're invading, but usually the real life versions of those people don't know what's going on. So I thought while watching that it could just be that, even though they've met in his mind, the real version wouldn't necessarily know.
But Hunter,
said
right?
That he did remember.
Like Hunter's through the whole episode was bragging about how much he knows about mindscapes because he's studied them, and at the very end he was like, he knows everything I've done. So I think he knows.
Yeah. Well, okay. Also, you guys are confusing me because the kid Bellows just turns into the real Bellows. Like they weren't separate. You guys are talking like they were separate. I was confused about what we were talking about. So I don't think the inner Bellows was there at all to begin with.
There's probably many cool
the
pictures.
inner Bellows is real Bellows too. Like that's him. That's just him.
Yeah.
So
he
of
was
course,
just disguised
he can see and hear and remember things in his own mind. I guess I'm kind of unclear about whether everything before the reveal was him acting purposefully. Or not.
Hey, and what I just sent is the painting on the right, like him cutting out his eyeballs.
I don't think so. I think it's
I mean, he still has his eyeballs, and he still has his eyeballs in real life. I think so. Hopefully not.
Also,
Look,
maybe
him killing Patterson on the left.
Maybe it is was him the entire time because he was he was trying to lure that Palisman beast to a certain place the entire time. So he was like, "Thanks for distracting it" or whatever.
Yeah, and I guess he was confident that he could just kill them both, and then the fact that they've learned his secrets wouldn't matter.
I guess he just doesn't care. He's just so confident in certain things and the way
That's
he's
true too.
Deceived people. It's just what's gonna happen if Luce is
because
the Emperor's actually evil?
Because Luce was like, I'm gonna tell everyone, and that's right. That's when he said can't reason with crazy. So yeah, he's just whether I don't know if he believes his own hype, I guess, based on that, but he's confident that other people won't fall for.
No, I think he
tricks,
does believe in his own hype. He's truly believes that Luce and people who oppose him are crazy. He's just I'm not even gonna bother with this. I'm just I'm doing the right thing.
I thought it was funny that mindscape mechanics, just all physical things just work the same. The sigils work, the walkie-talkie works.
Oh, I know, the walkie-talkie working. I was going to mention that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, how far away physically do you have to be for... they're technically in another dimension.
And they're Hello Kitty ones. They probably have 2 feet of range.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's true. How does the walkie-talkie work? Yeah, I don't know. It's the Owl House. That's fine. But
it's magic. It's magic. It's fine.
I was thinking, obviously, it was revealed that he was spying on them the whole time via his inner self. But when they started using the walkie-talkie, I was like, okay, 1, that works, which is interesting. 2, if someone was speaking through a walkie-talkie inside my mind, I feel like I would notice that.
Yeah.
5G.
Just wake up from a nap yes, over. Why did I say that?
You do that anyway, Chan.
That's true. I have a question. Was Inner Willow also younger Willow? Because I can't remember. I thought she was a giant fire beast, and then she was a younger version of herself.
I think it changes.
It's been so long. Did Inner Willow know what happened? Do we remember if Inner Willow knew what happened? Because if she didn't, then okay. If Inner Willow remembered what happened in her head, then that gives us a comparison for Bellows, doesn't it? So people in the comments, can you just
remind us of what happened to
clarify things. Yeah. Clarify for us what you think happened, whether Bellows knew because he could sense the magic happening, or if he knew because he was literally the inner Bellows the entire time and shared his consciousness and memories. Because I can't remember enough about remembering Widow. Is that it?
Yeah, you remembered.
Yeah, I remember the name of the episode. I can't remember anything else enough about the episode.
Wait, it was Understanding Willow. You were wrong.
I was wrong!
Never mind.
I was wrong. I can't remember enough about the plot of the episode to remember whether Widow remembered everything that happened in her mind afterwards. So please give us your theories below.
Yes. Also, something I'm thinking of now because of all these pictures I posted. Kid Belos having that mask on, like that I feel like that ties into the childhood too. Like they must have made that mask as kids for whatever reason, and that's some sort of like recurring symbol for their town or something.
Like maybe, but again, I feel like you can change what your inner self looks like, and he was just trying to like trick them. I don't know.
Maybe, but I feel like it was too interesting to I want it to be real.
Yeah. That's fair. I shouldn't dismiss every theory.
Have any of you played The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask?
I watched a majority of it.
Okay, well, first of all, the Skull Kids all wear masks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, there's the child at the end of the game who represents, I think, I don't know enough about the game. The child represents the moon, I believe, and is I believe, the Happy Mask salesman, but as a child and wearing a mask. But it kind of brings to mind the sort of lost child imagery.
I get what you're
does look like
saying,
a
yeah.
Skull Kid,
Mm-hmm.
or like the masked child. So, kind of like a lost soul.
Mm-hmm.
That's
There
what
is,
I was
like-
thinking of when I saw it the first time.
There's definitely that's definitely a trope. Like when I see a kid in a mask in a horror movie or anything, I'm always just like, that's a dead guy, or that's a lost spirit. It's just kind of the vibe it gives.
It's Hollow
Are
Knight.
you my mummy?
Is that what they say?
That's Doctor Who.
Oh, I was like, I don't know what this
Then they're in
reference
the
is.
little kids and the people in the gas masks in World War II era who are just saying, "Are you my mummy?" to everyone they speak to for
Well, that's
some reason, and it's
depressing.
terrifying.
Very sad. I don't like it.
Okay, so Hunter himself, because we haven't talked about Hunter's own feelings about this episode. You can tell he really wants to believe in the Emperor and believes that he can impress the Emperor because that's what he's been working so hard to do. But he just comes to the realization, the horrifying realization, that he's been trying over and over and over, his family, he called it, his previous iterations,
Yeah.
actually.
So I guess
those
he
are his
knew.
brothers.
Does he think that his dad was the Emperor's brother, literally, regularly? But in fact, he was a clone of
I'm
the
pretty
Emperor's
sure,
brother?
but I'm pretty sure...
And was the previous
Belos
Golden Guard
didn't
as well. Does he
explain
think he's
anything
the
to
son
him.
of the previous Golden Guard?
I'm pretty sure, Belos never explained anything to him, because he said he didn't know what happened to the last Golden Guard, and the Golden Guard has probably always been a child, if you understand. So, he probably was told by Belos that his family has been killed by wild magic. And
He said,
that
our
he's
family.
the heir to the Golden Guard. Yeah, our family. I think that Hunter seeing the previous Golden Guards would have made him see them as his family.
Yeah, that could be. Maybe.
But he probably has no idea what's going on. I mean, he was probably born a month ago, so who even knows? You know how he doesn't show up
exactly.
in season
Yeah.
1. He probably didn't exist in He probably
Didn't we get
exist
yelled
in
at
season
that he
1.
was in season
He-
1?
I
But I
think-
guess maybe he
I
was,
think
he was in his
yeah,
outfit.
I think in
though.
the season finale he was in his outfit next to the Emperor at one part.
Yeah, but that could have just been a clone.
Yeah.
Could have just been.
Yeah, that could be another Hunter, the previous Hunter.
Who knows?
I'm very interested to know if the original brother betrayed Philip, and that's why he kept he's every time I make a clone of him, they always end up betraying me, and I'm I wonder if that happened with the original.
Yes, exactly. He probably feels frustrated that he no, because he kind of also the collector suggests that Belos enjoys killing all the hunters, so he probably hates his brother. But he was probably betrayed by his brother and heartbroken by it, and kind of takes some kind of joy in hurting his clones, but he won't admit this to
I
himself.
took it differently. I took it as he loved his brother a lot, and his brother betrayed him, and now he's I want a version of my brother that doesn't betray me. I'm gonna keep trying because like I miss him,
I
and then
think
they
those
always
two
betray
theories
him.
are compatible.
Yeah, he hates him and he loved him, right? So he is like, it's this absolute rage, if you understand, because he was betrayed by somebody.
Yeah, and then he
loved.
just keeps experiencing it again.
And-
you know.
Yeah, exactly, and yet he also like has control over Hunter, and he really likes that. But he also keeps getting betrayed by him. So at the first sign of deviation, he just kills him.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like dead kids. So many dead children. Oh my god.
Yeah, there was some really scary imagery in this one. Like the talisman's like mouth peeking through the painting. It's like, oh god. That was
Yeah,
fun.
awesome. Definitely the best bit of horror we've gotten since like the King Origin episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you know, I
yeah.
keep thinking about.
Oh,
I
that
keep
was so
thinking
cool.
like, so this next episode is going to be a King's Dad episode, right? Like they just left that hanging for so long.
Where's the
when I was
King's
looking
Dad
when I was
episode? Like, we've
when I was
forgotten
looking
he
on the
exists
wiki
by
at
this
a point for a video or something, I saw an episode title that was very clearly a King Dad thing. So yes, that is coming.
All right.
When I won't tell you.
Oh, good.
But
Good, I don't
it
wanna know. I
seems
wanna be
like it is
surprised.
coming.
Do you think they'll open every episode from now on the same way? Like King's at the kitchen table with his dad, and he's like, "How did I get here, Dad?" And his dad's like, "You tell me. You're the one who brought us here." And then there's a flashback.
Okay, wait. Together again, did it? It worked it together again.
Together Again's open was like one of the best things I've ever seen. I think.
Together Again opened with if I'm trying to remember, it opened with them being dead, but we didn't see how
No, they were.
died.
I mean, they
yeah,
were
they-
running
they-
through the Ice
They
Kingdom.
didn't say
He
like,
wasn't
"How
dead.
did we get
Well,
here?" You'll like, you remember.
It was really classic season 1A, and then all of a sudden Jake's grave and Finn having a mental breakdown.
I was watching a season 1 episode yesterday, and I was having a mental breakdown because it just reminded me of that opening scene Together Again, and I just
The
couldn't.
voice acting. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm going to go on a tangent. What do you think? Should we rate it now? Because
Yeah.
it's 45
But
minutes.
it's a worthy.
Which is weird because I
What?
feel like we haven't said that much about it, but I guess we have.
Okay, I rate it. I don't like this part. I really don't, because the episode had like some amazing, wonderful sections, but it also had a lot.
Just
of
be
characters that I
casual
didn't
about it.
like.
You don't have to be stressed out. I'm casual.
Okay, I
about
give it another 8 out of 10.
Oh, what?
An 8 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I give it a 7.5. I enjoyed it, but I was like,
I think 8 too.
You were like,
I don't know. That's just my gut.
I don't know,
And my gut spoke a lot on this recording.
I definitely agree with Tipsy that there was like so much, like the concept here was so strong. There was just some pretty weak writing, and there it felt like it dragged at the beginning for sure. And I was like, oh, so they're gonna like leave a lot of stuff hanging, but they do, like through that little flashback with the collector, that gives us everything I would have wanted from the episode. Like it felt much longer than it actually was, and it ended up satisfying me. I just think it was paced. It was paced not the best. It was written a little weird, like Lou's being like, "No, you're evil." Like, come on,
it was frustrating. It was an episode, like, the way I give the episode ratings are less about, like, the content of the plot and more about how it feels to watch it. And this episode frustrated me. Like, the opening half of the episode, like, infuriated me because it opened with, oh, we're going to see the Emperor's mind, and it took the entire episode to get there. I just found that infuriating, so it really does bump the episode down, in my opinion. If they'd cut most of that out and replaced it with something more entertaining, then it would have gotten higher for sure, but, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, because I'm so into seeing how dark they can take things, there was moments of this episode where I was like, this is a 10 episode. But and then I was like, okay, it's a little boring, maybe it's 9.5. Now I'm like, it's just a 9, which is still, like, I very rarely have given something that.
Just
that
a 9.
I feel like
Just a 9.
I feel like the scenario. I wanted this to be a 10 so badly, but I think just some of the writing dragged it a bit. But like, just the presentation of this wins me over
Like
so easily.
an episode like this feels like it should be worth a 10.
Yeah.
But it's just not. I don't know. I'm not putting too much thought into this one. I just feel like in terms of enjoyment, it was an 8 for me. Which is good. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
But like, there's
sure.
a couple things dragging it down.
Yeah, and that's just this this level of like spooky stuff. I mean, the amount of on-screen death on display here is not what I was expecting. But as morbid as it is, I love seeing that. I love when these kids shows can take that kind of really serious direction, because they always frame it in way more interesting ways than adult stuff does too. And I think it's partly because they have to oddly keep stuff censored, that like they have to be much more creative about the way they present it. Like showing just the cracked masks of all the Golden Guards, that's way more violent and creepy than like actually showing a dead body. Like just the implication that they were wiped out is so much more creepy, and they had to be, they had to do that because it's a kids show, so they couldn't show explicit death. So the ways that they make stuff creepy in these creative ways, like I love seeing it. Anytime we see it, I'm gonna go above 8 in my ratings.
Wow.
Okay.
What a sociopath.
I know.
We got Haiku-chan.
Blame Invader Zim.
Oh man. Why am I so talented? I made this into a thing. So sad. Philip Witterbane. We went into his big brain.
There we go.
That guy is insane.
Yeah.
Whoa, Chipsy, that's
Let's
great.
go.
That's really good.
This might be the first one that...
Wait, that even rhymed. That was really
This is
good.
the first one that rhymed, I think.
Witterbrain went into his big brain. That guy's insane.
we could put together a poetry book after the whole show's over.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please hit the like button so more viewers like you can find this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel with notifications on to see my future content, and follow me on other sites like TikTok and Twitter for special exclusives. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for more.